We live in a modern and so called trending age. We have mobile phones to make us engaged, to remind everything what we have to do. Our default mode is to forget. We forget birthdays, we forget anniversaries, we forget promises, and we forget who we are. This kind of forgetfulness is largely due to being busy, distracted, and inattentive. Forgetfulness is often a forgetfulness of things. It can easily become a forgetfulness of people. This kind of forgetfulness can also lead to a forgetfulness of God. We may sometimes find ourselves in the middle of a church service where our attention is supposed to be on God and His Word, but instead, our minds are found in the midst of yesterday's party, roadside traffic, near to the hero in the movie scene, missing of TV serials, and next day's busy schedules. Suddenly, we realize that we have been in the church and we haven't heard a thing that priest has said. I remember one time my friend fell into this kind of forgetfulness. It was in an evening mass service attended by a relatively small number of people. After the gospel reading, the father asked us to sit down, but he stood for 2 minutes, forgetting where he was, what he was doing, and whom he was worshipping. We too have these forgotten God experiences. Even when it does not involve forgetting God, it can produce all sorts of evil in our families and our relationships. Thus, we must watch ourselves that we not forget the Lord and the things He has done for us. But we too get distracted by the demands of our days, by the busyness of our times. We forget that as Moses warned, declining from the commandments of God displays a forgetting of God. The same applies to us. We tend to think that ignoring or rather not fully living up to one commandment of God is a small thing. But did Jesus not say, "If you love me, you will keep my commandments"? Yet we find His commandments so easy to ignore. Be kind to one another, tender hearted, forgiving one another, as God in Christ forgave you, as Paul says in Ephesians. These things are so easy to understand. The demand of lifestyle is motivating us to skip church. We need to love our neighbors as ourselves, but it is so inconvenient. It requires too much time, too much energy, so we don't. We give them a pat on the back and wish them well, but we don't provide what they need. Such is the beginning of the careless forgetting of God. But it doesn't stop there. It develops into an active resentment of those who would place demands on our time and commitments. And before we know it, we have forgotten God. Dear friends, water should be heated up to make it hot. Water is hot until it is heated up, but it loses its warmness if it is kept away from the heater. The same condition is applied in our prayer life too. When we are with God, thinking about God, praising God, speaking about God, and spending time with God, our spiritual life will be in warm state. If we go out from God's presence, we will be in cold state with not reachable area. The Spirit of God lives inside you. Therefore, you have every tool you need to find Him. So, do spend time with God because He is always available and always reachable.